I'm Jack Knight Winters, and this is Jack Frost University, and I'm here at Chautauqua Park in Boulder, Colorado, my headquarters. I always try to get some pine trees in the background. I love pine trees. I'm obsessed with pine trees. I just love them. And Colorado has plenty of them. Got some pine trees in the background. Got my $5 Walmart shirt. Yeah. $5 Walmart shirt. Okay. So today, I love being in nature. I hope you can hear the animals. There's some birds chirping in the background. I always try to get some birds chirping in the background and some pine trees, some nature. So I'm sitting up here at Chautauqua. Today I'm going to be talking about the two cards, actually, out of the Rider-Waite Smith Tarot deck. Okay, 3 different people were involved in creating the Rider-Waite Smith Tarot deck. Okay, Pamela Coleman Smith designed them. Arthur Edward Waite gave the ideas for the cards. So Arthur Edward Waite was a bright man. Okay, he came up with the design of the cards. Pamela Coleman Smith actually illustrated them. Okay, she illustrated them, and then Rider Publishing Company published them. Okay, so the 2 cards I'm going to be talking about today. Okay, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. Okay, that's the first one, and we'll talk about, and because these 2 cards kind of go together. Then we're going to talk about 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so 8 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles. Now, truth be told, they're in the wrong order. That has to be fixed. We have to fix that. They're in the reverse order, and I'll show you why in here in a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about these 2 cards, and I'm going to give real life examples of how they apply to my life. Okay, and the reason why I like this 8 of Pentacles so much is because it's the very first card I ever learned. Okay, it's the very first card that when I was starting to shuffle those cards, and I just kept shuffling them and cutting them, and the ones that kept popping out over and over again, the very first one that I took notice of as I was shuffling them was this one. And it was nice because that was the time that I was in my life, which is neat. So let's talk about this, and I'll give you some examples of how I've actually lived out this card, both of these cards. Okay. So the first thing to note is you have this guy, and he's sitting on a bench. Okay, this is a craftsman. He's got a trade. Okay, first off to notice, he's got the town in the background. Okay, there's a city in the background, but he's not in the city. He's isolated from the city. He's isolated from the city men, the village men and women. He's in the zone. Okay, he's a tradesman. He's developing his craft. He's mastering his craft and his trade. Okay, he's industrious. He's being industrious. Okay. Oh, first thing to note also about Pentacles is they're also called discs. Okay? Same as diamonds. Same as the diamond suite. This diamond suit. Okay? Pentacles, discs, diamonds are all the same thing. Okay? Diamonds, it's all about money. Okay? When you see a pentacle or a diamond, it's all about money. It's about business. Okay? That's what it's about. It's about cash. It's about money. Okay? So, he's isolated himself from others in order to focus and concentrate on his craft or trade. He's developing or mastering his craft. He's being industrious. Okay? Other thing to note is he's actually got his pentacles. He's got his work on display for others to see. It's not hidden. He's actually got his work on display. They're posted to this tree. Okay. Now I have my YouTube videos posted on display for people to see. It's one thing to see. The thing about the hermit mode, if you're living out the hermit card, okay, You're isolated, just like this guy is. But with hermit mode, you're not actually producing anything. You're not publishing. You're not putting your work on display. As a hermit, when you're living out the hermit card, you're like a student. You're not really exporting anything. You're not showing off your work. You're learning. You're learning. You're getting organized in your mind. There's some information you got to get straight first before you go out into the world and start producing. Okay? But this guy's not in hermit mode anymore. Okay? He's in work mode. He's actually pushing out product. He's pushing out service. Okay? He's out there and out there. He's in the city, but he's still kind of isolated. He hasn't quite yet got it fully figured out. Because you'll see he's still working on that pentacle. He hasn't got his craft or trade perfect yet. If you look at all the pentacles, look at all those stars. Some of these stars are kind of sloppy. You know? Some of these stars, these pentacles, they're kind of sloppy. So he hasn't got it quite figured out yet. But he's on to something. He's getting really good at it. And he's getting better as time goes by. But all these other pentacles here, they're kind of still sloppy, but he's mastering it. He's getting it better. Better and better and better. He's refining his trade. He's refining things. But he's still got his imperfect work on display, and that's the important thing, okay? That's kind of where I am in life. At least it was about a year ago. So I put my YouTube videos on display. Okay? My craft, my trade. I'm displaying my intelligence, right? Jack Frost University. Look what I want to do. Look what I'm building. Okay? It could also indicate, if you get this card popping up, it might indicate that you might need to master a new trade or a new craft. Okay? He's got hard working, and he's paying painstaking attention to detail. This guy's paying attention to detail. Okay? So, that's pretty much it to say about this card. Now, let me show you a real life example of this card being played out in real life, okay? So, about 5 years ago, I was going through a bit of a midlife crisis. Well, I've actually, sometimes I feel like my entire 30s were all a big midlife crisis, one after the other. But I just had this moment in life where I needed to subtract myself and just kind of sit down and get my mind and my thoughts organized. Exactly, trying to figure out what do I want to get out of this life. So I sat in Starbucks for about 2 years straight. I swear to God, I sat at Starbucks for sometimes 4 hours, sometimes 8 hours, just people watching, just watching people, observing people. I was just kind of getting grounded. I was getting really grounded into the earth and trying to figure out, okay, I'm going to be here for a while. What do I want to do with my time, okay? And at that time, I wanted to make money, but I wanted to make it using a laptop, specifically using a laptop at a Starbucks anywhere in the world, okay? It seemed really exciting. Travel the world, work from my laptop. I think they call these digital entrepreneurs, or they call them digital nomads. Digital nomads, they have their laptop, give me a Starbucks, a laptop, and a Wi-Fi connection, and I'm working, So they call them digital nomads. They travel the world, and they make money, and they just kind of stay wherever they want. And that seemed like a really cool lifestyle for a while. After a while, the Starbucks kind of gets annoying. So I think people sounds fun, but it gets kind of old. But at the time, I was really wanting that, and so I was kind of seeking out the universe. Give me this opportunity to make some money doing this. So eventually I ended up finding one. T-shirt design, graphic design. I started designing these T-shirts, so I wanted to show them off to you. These are some of the T-shirts that I designed. First one I'll show you is, honestly, these tarot cards. I started slapping these tarot cards. I don't even know how I got this idea. I think maybe this was back before I even knew anything about tarot cards. I didn't know anything about them. It felt right. Oh, I was also looking for public. They say you have to have money to make money. That's not true in business, okay? You hear that a lot. All these stupid little biases that people say that you grow up listening to, which is really just excuses. You have to have money to make money. That's not true. And this is it's not true. Okay? You can have no money and still find a way to make money. Because this is what I did. They have what's called public domain graphics out there. Public domain material. It's in the public domain, which means you can't copyright it. You can't trademark it. You can't do any of that. It's free, which means you can make money off it. So this is one of the first cards that I started. I just threw up a death card design. I cleaned it up a little bit, and slapped it onto a shirt, uploaded that to Amazon, started making some money. People are actually buying it. I threw up the death card. I threw up the Fool, and then I got some others. I think I ended up putting all of them on there. Very few sell. I think only like 8 shirts, tarot card shirts actually are selling. And they still sell, actually. I'll show you why. I'll show you how. So the Fool, the Death card, I was putting these up on a shirt, okay? Playing out the 8 of Pentacles. Doing it, I was very isolated from society. I was doing my thing. Wasn't talking too much to people. Didn't have too many friends. I threw up this inverted Pentacles shirt. Baphomet, sigil of Baphomet. Okay. These are all still selling, by the way. Kind of neat. Residual income. Oh, that's another thing I was trying to build, was residual income. Okay, I was trying to build residual income, and I got it, and I still have it. I make about $300 a month of residual income on these same t-shirt designs that I'm showing you right now. Okay, Sigil of Lucifer. Sigil of Lucifer shirt. That one sells pretty well. Oh, and then I did this really cool one where I infused the inverted pentacle, Baphomet goat, with the Orion Nebula. I took a photo of Orion Nebula and I infused it in. What I was using here is Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, okay? This was my craft and my trade. This was my 8 of Pentacles. This is my craft, okay? Then I moved on from those and started doing some presidential t-shirts. So this is the James Madison, presidential portrait. And I just kept and then I got, Columbus, Christopher Columbus in there as well. Just anyone from the past. These are all public domain images, so it's free to do. You could use them. You don't have to pay anyone for them. Christopher Columbus shirt, Henry VIII shirt. These are all portrait shirts. Okay. And here's an Edgar Allan Poe t-shirt. I designed that one. Then I started moving over into the Wiccan shirts and started doing some Wiccan designs. This is a really nice one right here. I like this one. Nature is my religion. And then Harm None. Wiccan Harm None shirt. I like that one too. I love these tree designs. Were nice. These were actually pretty sweet shirts. They don't sell as good as I was hoping, but... Then I got the Wiccan Creed. Do not... what is this? Do no harm, but take no shit. That was a nice shirt. I like that one. And then I got this Baphomet goat shirt. These are this is my bread and butter for the last couple of years. They just keep selling over and over again. Once you get a nice design in there, man, people like it. Start paying attention to it. So, that is an example of the 8 of Pentacles. Okay? And then an example of how I'm living out the 8 of Pentacles. That was 2 years ago, though. Okay? So I started making money from these, and I started getting my income up. I got my income up to about $1,200 to $1,500 a month. I was also selling books on Amazon. Okay, I was selling books and T-shirts on Amazon, and I was working off Craigslist, mastering my craft. Man, I like books. I like selling books. I like T-shirts. I like allowing people to express themselves. People in the occult community. I learned a lot about how people perceive these occult symbols, and they are so far off base, but people buy what they want to buy. So now let's talk about the other card. because this is where I'm at now. So this Seven of Pentacles, this is where I was about a year ago, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, mastering my craft. I actually haven't designed a t-shirt in over a year. And the reason why is because this is the mode I'm in right now. Seven of Pentacles. I'm in the Seven Pentacles mode right now. Okay, let's talk about Seven of Pentacles. First thing to note about the Seven of Pentacles, we're still on Pentacles, so we're still talking about money. We're still talking about business. We're still talking about your craft, your trade, okay? Pentacles are about money. We have this guy, he's sitting, or he's standing rather, and he's leaning against his little staff, right? And he's just kind of looking at his work. His work is, he's been cultivating these grape, I'm pretty sure these are grape fields. This is a grape bush, or grapevine. It's a grapevine. That apparently is this guy's trade. It's his craft. He's been cultivating and these, building these grape vineyards. And he's been planting these for quite some time. And now he's looking back. He's taking a little break and he's observing his handiwork. He's looking at these pentacles, by the way, represent the grapes. Just pretend they're grapes. 7 big grapes. Okay, he's looking back at his work. Okay, so the Seven of Pentacles, it should come after the Eight of Pentacles. Actually, I think they're in the wrong order. Okay, if you get the Seven of Pentacles, it's time to reflect on the progress that you've been making. Okay, it's time to reflect on the progress. It's time to take a break and admire your work. Sometimes in life, you have to be non-productive in order to be productive. You need to look back at your business model and reflect back on it and say, hey, is this working? Is this model, am I going anywhere with this business model? This guy's looking back at his graveyards thinking, is this worth it? Is it worth this? It's a lot of work. Okay, is it profitable? Not all businesses are profitable. You have to be mindful of that. Okay, he's been cultivating and sowing. Okay, now is the time for the harvest. If you get this card, now is the time for harvest. Okay, you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. So that's what I've been doing for the last kind of year. I'm just kind of kicking back. So I've been getting $300 a month by selling these t-shirt designs on different platforms on the internet, right? It's really neat. I haven't residual income. It's very important, okay? You got to be smart in business. The point is not to work. That's what a business is supposed to be about. Not working. You got to build up a successful business model, okay? So he's reflecting back on his craft. He's thinking about things. Can I scale this up? Is this scalable? If it's not scalable, you need to get rid of it, okay? It can also indicate a crossroads, where you're at a crossroads because you're thinking, hey, is this business model worth it? Should I pursue something else? That's what this guy's thinking about. Okay. This is a timeout card. It's a timeout card. It's about pausing and reflecting. Okay. And like I said, sometimes in order to be productive, you got to be non-productive. For real. Okay. So, yeah. So as I was saying, you got to reflect sometimes back on your business. Because like I said, this is a Pentacles card. It's about business. It's about money. Don't be afraid to talk about money. Money's important. You have to have industry. You have to be industrious in life. It's a good old Freemason approach, Know your craft, know your trade. This guy's looking back on his trade. Sometimes you have to look back at your work and say, hey, is this working? Not all business models are profitable. And not all business models can stand the test of time. And I think it's necessary to step back and look at things. Look at your work. So let me show you this little document here. This is my the money that I receive from Amazon as for my shirt designs. Okay. You can see it goes back for quite some time, almost about a year and a half, 2 years now. I've been getting money from these shirts. But notice how I stopped designing shirts about a year ago. Right here. I stopped designing shirts while then, but notice how I'm still getting money every month from Amazon, okay? This is a smart business model. I really like this. It's residual income. It's smart money. Okay? Not all business models work. Some people labor and labor and labor, and then and they want to keep sticking around with the business model that just sucks ass. It just doesn't, it sucks. Not all business models work. So that's what I really like about this card. These are the first two cards that I ever came across, and that's why they're kind of special to me. They represent trade and mastering your craft. Okay? So that's all I got to say at this point. I hope you enjoyed.